Nice. What number is this?
21.
Podcast
21, bro.
Wow.
21. Is that number? I got you, bro. I got you.
21, bro.
Right.
Says Jesse's just leaving you hanging.
It's okay.
I didn't see him.
I'm used to the disappointment from this guy.
And we're starting.
Here we go.
I'm happy to have you.
really fast.
I'm happy to have you on the podcast, man. We talk a lot of shit to each other. Excuse my language. But it's always fun.
Yes.
And it's always in good.
I'm glad to be here.
good
Glad to
nature.
be here.
Thank you for joining, man.
First
Thank you
of
for
all, what
inviting.
took you so damn long?
Well, I wanted to
And
give,
that's an honest question.
I wanted to give the newbies a chance. You know.
I wanted you to have a head start.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
funny.
I like to make an entrance.
I get it.
Make an impression.
We're happy that you're finally on board, man.
Thank you.
You're gonna see it's definitely a good fraternity to be in.
I've been hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hearsay so far, but
there's a lot of good information that gets shared back and forth, and I hope that you're a part of that. We also got some big announcements to make that are going to benefit not only STBA but the building industry in the valley.
in general.
In general.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of things that are moving, but first and foremost, we want to say thank you to Utopia for hosting the podcast this week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
For anybody that doesn't know, Utopia is located next to Howling Rabbits. Yeah, can you turn up the mics a little bit, Ulises? They're located here where Ambra is at, better known. This would be 10th and what's the intersection?
Is it
Auburn?
Auburn?
Auburn.
Yeah.
It's located on 10th and Auburn, and Utopia is in the process of opening up, and it's spectacular, man. You walk in here, and it looks like you're like in some rainforest or something.
Like you're in Utopia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
basically.
crazy. It's
Basically.
crazy. And they've been very kind to open their doors to us, so big thank you to them, and thank you to Dan Cantu for always hooking us up and making sure that we've had some of the nicest places to have our podcast.
Yeah.
Big thank you to you, Dan. And today we have a very special guest, been in the industry for a long time. You know?
Yes, I have.
Mr. Jesse, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, my name is Jesse De Leon, owner of Liongate Builders. Started construction back in 2003, went through the whole 2008 phase, and continued my way up. So I'm here today.
2008 was tough for
Very
everybody.
tough, very tough.
For some of the newbies
For the newbies
that don't know,
that weren't in that time period, it was tough.
there was nothing to be had at that time, man.
Nope.
There was nothing.
It was bad.
It was very bad.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember seeing my parents go through that.
Yeah.
You know, so 20 years.
Basically.
20 years in the business.
Yep.
How'd you get into it?
Yeah.
Started back in working with my grandpa when I was in high school, picking up trash, doing sheetrock.
Yeah.
Doing all the crap that no one else wanted to do. But
Been there.
So started off like that. Of course, I went to college, had my master's in accounting and finance. But during the time I learned from there, I never followed the other path of, my parents that have other businesses, funeral homes, stuff like that. But I continue. I like construction. I always like building with Legos and stuff like that. So continue that route.
Nice.
That's cool, man. So your parents weren't in construction. Your grandpa was.
No, my grandpa was.
Oh, cool.
And then,
you and your grandpa are close?
We were, yes. Passed away 3 years
Passed away.
ago. Yes.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But he left a legacy,
Yes, he did.
right? We talk about that all the time.
Ever since then, I haven't stopped. So
Yeah.
I always tell myself I'm going to stop, as I do have other businesses, and I just can't let it go.
Yeah. What is it that you like about the construction industry? What motivated you to pursue that
sir.
instead of
Well,
your
it's
parents?
still really pursued the business aspect. So, knowing finance and accounting, every business needs that. So it's just the same operation it's in the back end, except that you have service-based or product-based.
Sure.
So, the same, business in general is what I like, but construction is what I know.
Yeah.
And so I was able to implement that together.
Gotcha. When did you decide to go off on your own? Was it in 2003?
I started that back right in 2009.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So from
I would
03
just do it on had some very large clients, did all their apartment complex stuff. I never wanted to continue, because I was in school during the time as well. But
So you were building while you were going to school.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
while you were going to college.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then after that, I made
You
it.
look so young, though. Were you in elementary or
Oh,
something?
thank you. All salt and pepper hair.
It's the new 20s.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
So yes, I am old school when it comes to that.
Yeah, cool, man. So from 03 to 09, you're working for.
I worked as a sub, believe it or not, for different companies.
Really?
Worked for Obra, Casalinda during those times. And then I ended up getting hired as a superintendent, but couldn't complete it just because of my school load, and I wanted to continue that. And then I became continued construction with the city of Mission as an inspector for one of their CDBG programs. Didn't last too long because, like I said, I was still doing my own projects and stuff like that, so I ended up just leaving and continuing school and finishing it. Like that.
Gotcha. What'd you get your degree in?
Counting.
Counting.
Oh, okay, counting. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Masters.
One of the most important things for those of y'all that missed this, one of the most important things when we first started this organization and we our first member was Alonso Cantu Construction. Yes. And he gave us some advice, and he said that there's two things that every single builder needs: an accountant and an attorney.
Correct.
Right? How important has your accounting degree been to the
very
business?
important? I wouldn't have scaled to where I did without that background knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
And then from then, I ended up hiring my own, but I oversee, basically everything. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it is very important to have that, especially an attorney. Nowadays, everyone wants to sue you for everything. So.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Oh, you in a lawsuit?
I actually have. I've been in a lawsuit before. Yeah. And,
not fun.
If you've been in the business for as long as you guys have, you're bound to go through something like that.
It's inevitable.
Yes.
You will eventually go through it. My case was special, and it was frightening. Right?
Yeah.
We got past it and through it, and everything worked out the way it should have. But it can be
Very stressful.
Very stressful, yeah. And we all know that this industry is already stressful enough.
That doesn't help the fact that you do have some bad builders out there that have burnt the name for most other builders as well.
It's very hard, man.
Yep.
It's hard. People sometimes have the misconception of builders just because, I mean, you hear things that have happened. You're just like, how are you able to,
Or how do you keep operating?
Yeah.
Not going to mention any names.
But it's. I mean, we here at STBA don't condone any foul play, and we've actually had instances where Ronnie and I have to talk about, like, okay, hey, this is what happened with this builder. What are we gonna do? They want to join, and the board has made decisions. We're not gonna. I'm sorry. Thank you for the interest, but we can't allow you to come in due to just certain circumstances.
Yeah.
If we're not, we. The most important thing Ronnie's always said is painting the builders in a new light.
Correct.
And we want to paint the builders in a new light, make sure that people understand that we're all human beings.
I think the majority of us, if we took the majority, most of them are good people, man.
Yeah, most of them are, yeah.
Everybody's doing right by their families and just trying to put food on the table. I've known Jesse for a long time. Good builder, right?
Yeah.
And it happens often that for some reason, you're dealing with the client. There's 1,000 different personalities that you gotta deal with on a daily basis, and things aren't perfect, and this industry isn't perfect. And building a house, it's not perfect.
It's not perfect, especially
there
when
is none.
When they come in with, well, my tío, my tía, my uncle, and I don't know who else, we're builders. Well, what do you?
Yeah.
Someone always has a tío and a tía.
Right.
They know better. Yeah. So my question is, why didn't you build with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
there's a reason, right? There's
there
always
has to
reason.
be a reason why. Yeah.
And there's always two sides to every story. And so it was important for us as an organization and STBA to really start painting pictures, builders in a different light, because for the most part, all the builders that I've gotten to know,
Yes, sir.
man, good people.
Yeah,
Good people.
I mean, everybody so far that we've come across, at least, I mean, I could say personal experience. I mean, everybody's been not just very welcoming, but also they're super respectful,
Yep.
and they want to help. They
Yeah.
want to help. We just had a meeting and lunch with a particular company, and they are literally all about helping, and because they've seen how SBA has helped them, And this guy is like, man, I just want to help however I can. You know, he's doing something that's very special for SCBA. I would like to say that those are the type of individuals within the organization, dude. You know, that are trying to do what's best for SCBA. You know, it's crazy
for the industry in general.
Yeah.
Right? And now that we've got a big announcement, Mario, I'll let you.
Which one are we announcing? What are we doing?
We've got somebody special coming down.
Yes, we do. I was actually
I
telling
heard about
Jesse about that.
helicopters and stuff like that. So.
We got helicopters.
We got helicopters involved. We got national recognition involved. No, dude, it's just it's been a favor of good fortune and good luck on just being at the right place at the right time. Someone told me the other day the same thing you told me. You know, when you do things with a good intention and you're doing things right for the right reasons, things work themselves out. And you know, long story short, I think I already told you my experience in California, right?
Correct.
And you know, I got out of the gym the other day, and I had gotten the number of the vice president, which Mr. Carl Harris, for the NHB, and you know, I got close with these guys. I mean, when you drink whiskey with these guys, and it's one of those things where it's just like you can't say no. You know, if somebody tells you like, hey, like, let's go have a drink of whiskey, well, what are you gonna say? You know, I mean, you're there on a mission, right? But I never thought that I was gonna call this guy and he was gonna tell me, what's going on, Mario? How are you doing? I was like, you saved my number? Like, I was like, you saved my... Of course I saved your number, buddy. What's up? Whatever. Long story short, I just told him, I was like, I don't mean to take much of your time, Mr. Harris. I just wanted to ask if you'd be interested in coming down to the Valley and being a judge in the Gallery of Homes.
That speaks for itself.
And he was like, yes, sir, I would.
That is awesome.
That is great.
As long as I can get on the helicopter.
We will be selling tickets. It's gonna be like a donkey ride. It's huge, bro. It is. It's huge. I was thinking about this last night, right? Because I mean, every time we do a podcast, I go through some of the stuff that we're gonna talk about, and really think about the significance and the importance of. Man, it's huge. That is the vice president of the National Association of Home Builders.
Yes, sir.
In this country.
Yes,
right?
in the country.
In the country.
In the country. Second in line. Second in line to, what's the gentleman's name that's currently the president?
I forgot his name. I feel super bad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on that spot. My bad.
It's okay.
We'll
no,
bleep
but
that.
the good thing, I mean, the one of the important things is that I didn't know this until... So when I went to California, I went out there trying to see if I can meet somebody, because in order to get in contact with anybody within that height of stature that these people are in, they don't really answer phones. It's very hard to get a reply. But one of the things that was mentioned is that Mr. Harris is next to be the president.
Yeah.
So that is very important. You know, it's a very important. They have no idea where or who the Valley is.
So, I mean, that's in general.
That's terrible.
Right? Everyone thinks we're San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
But the reality is, if you look at the numbers for the Valley, I mean, we're experiencing some tremendous growth right now.
They say in the next 20 years will be like what San Antonio was now.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Right? That's a big city. And the population in the Valley continues to grow.
And it's only going to get bigger.
And it's only going to get bigger.
With this whole, one thing I've mentioned before, Mr. Ramiro said on his podcast with the Edinburgh mayor, that right now the nation is basically looking at like Edinburgh being its own, McAllen being its own, but they don't account as the Valley as one. So they're working on everybody's going to be accounted as one. He's like, and when that happens, you're going to attract the bigger companies to come down to the Valley, because they don't see the numbers for what the Valley is yet. Like, they'll just see like Edinburgh, a couple 100,000 people or whatever it is that they have, but in a couple, like, what, I don't know how many years he said it was going to take. I could be here in the next 2-3 years, but they're going to start accounting what would be McAllen, Edinburgh, Far, Adams, everybody as one, and that's going to change the game again for the Valley.
And in the spirit of working together, man, that's truly what it's going to take, right? These mayors to come together and hey, well, you know, we need this in our city, and
start
you
working
use
together.
that. Yeah, start working together. That's the only way. That's the only way.
Yes, sir.
There's strength in unity, and Jesse, we're happy that you're on board.
Well,
Definitely.
I'm glad to be here, and thank you for finally inviting.
Yeah, I've known Jesse since I was a kid, bro.
I'm sorry.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Sorry, bro.
Nah, but
So anyway, he's gonna be down here.
yes, sir. So Mr. Harris will be coming down here. He flies in. I already got his itinerary for his flights. He'll be flying in November 3rd. He'll be here at noon. Flying in at noon. We are gonna have a podcast with the. So one of the things that Ronnie and I were talking about is how we want to make sure that the gallery is as transparent as possible, and want to make sure that people understand how they're being judged. So we're gonna have a live podcast with Mr. Harris. Mr. Terry Palacios, which is the second judge. Right now, we're working on the third judge. That one's gonna be. It's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a surprise of who it will be. But we're gonna go live on a podcast, and we're gonna go through how they're gonna be judging. We're gonna swear them in. We want everybody to understand that. I want things like as the executive director, I want people to know that all I want is for this to be fair. I want everybody to have a good time. I want everyone to enjoy themselves. I want everybody to put their best foot forward and just represent their company with pride, which everyone already does. And I want everyone to know that I just want this to be a good event. Shout out to Cross Country for jumping on board.
Yeah, shout out to them as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
They recently, they wanted to be one of the builders' homes, and told the builder, we can't get it done unless, I need you to stay within the organization. And Hernan called me that same day. Hey, I'm joining. What do I got to do?
It's about time, Hernan.
I was surprised that they weren't in there already.
Me too. I've been bugging Jerry for I don't know how long.
They're big players in the game.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate y'all coming on board. They are big players in the game, and they're getting bigger.
Yes, sir.
Which is nice to see.
So we have Mr. Harris coming November 3rd. He'll be here by noon. We're looking at doing a podcast around 3 o'clock. Then take him out to dinner. He'll be staying in one of Ronnie's houses. The point of that is we want him to get a feel what it is that we're building.
Kozo.
Of course.
Oh, dude, the house is nice.
We're going to introduce him to some peaceful, functional living.
Meditation.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Palo Santo. We got all that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. It'll be an experience for him.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to have him.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be really cool.
And then Saturday, early in the morning, 9 o'clock, we'll be driving the judges around. They'll be doing the judging. Right now we have 15 homes.
Who's sponsoring the van, by the way?
Mr. Chavez, owner of Junior Supermarket.
Nice.
He has this big... Funny story. He went to California sightseeing. He needed a bigger vehicle and bought a Sprinter van. He was like, I'm just going to buy a Sprinter van. Turns out he bought like the biggest Sprinter van that Mercedes
Perfect.
It drove it down,
Cool.
So they're letting us borrow that. So I'm driving them around. And then we got an idea to get a helicopter to give this guy an aerial view of all the subdivisions that are coming up. Because all our builders are literally building in almost every subdivision there is, and give them an aerial view of what it is that's coming up, and then drop down at Mr. Cantu's ranch like some G's, you know what I'm saying? After that,
Pull up right next to his.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
Ours might be a little smaller.
Oh, man.
But it's going to be a great night, great event. I want everybody in STBA to be there. It's important that he sees the numbers that we have.
Yes.
What we have here in the Valley with STBA compared to other cities, man, it's truly special.
Yes.
He was alluding to the fact that they as an organization in general are losing numbers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so right now in the NHB, there's like a 58% of retention that they haven't been able to keep from builders. The national age of 45 and below, they're in the organization, has dropped like a 16 or 17%.
Yeah, that's because everybody wants to be influencers or podcasters.
Well,
Not throwing any names here.
So what do you got to do, right?
Unfortunately, we don't get paid for this.
Anyway, Jesse, thanks for coming. It was a pleasure. Nah, I'm kidding, bro.
It was crazy. It was crazy to hear all that.
No, but it makes sense, right? Because things are done differently nowadays,
Correct.
right? With social media and access to so much information and so many people, you as an organization, you got to adapt.
Yes.
You got to adapt. And so they were very excited with the numbers that we have. They
were more impressed with the response that. So I sent a picture. I don't know if I sent it to Ronnie, but excuse me. So I got invited. So I get invited to a private drinking little thing that they had in his villa. So I go to this villa, and to prove a point of the organization, I put on the Builders chat, if you're an NHB member, send me a thumbs up. If you're not, send me a thumbs down.
Oh, I saw that.
You saw that?
I'm a member as well.
So we had, in a matter of 10 minutes, we had like this, bro, just boom, 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 boom. And they couldn't believe it because they were, one of the things that, so the way it works is like this. NHB powers organizations. NHB does not go and, they don't go and create an organization and say like, this is NHB organization. No. NHB, what they call is a power, and then they appoint an executive officer, right? So that's like the EO, so they call him. At first I was like, what the hell is an EO? And then it's like, it's an executive officer. I was like, oh, all right, cool. So it's like,
I might need you guys to talk to me in English.
I was like, what?
Or Spanish.
What the heck is that?
Or both.
I was like, what? Por favor. But long story short, he was just impressed with the response, and they all were. And one thing that they're missing is, I told him, I was like, we might not be the old school traditional, email type of thing, but our way of communicating works. I showed him stuff that we've done, lunches, podcasts, all this stuff. They were more impressed. So the NHB has a podcast, and they don't get many views. But it's not like, our podcast is a little bit like more chill, down to earth, where we're talking, we're having a drink, whatnot. But they were just more impressed with the numbers that we're generating. And it even got to a point where, they want us to do a podcast at the Builders Show. They want us to be able to have a podcast at the Builders Show. At IBS with the president. Dude,
exciting.
It was crazy, man. That same night they pinned me. I got pinned as a national leader recognized.
Whoa. Should we be talking about that?
Not in a perverted way.
I was a little worried at the moment. I was like,
whoa, I didn't know about that.
That explains all the help they're coming down with.
No wonder.
I was like, no wonder they're coming down.
What do you mean they pinned you? No shit. That was
just kidding.
That was honestly, dude. Like, it was. Como te digo, I went out there with no plan. It just things just happened the way they did, man.
Because they're supposed to.
It was weird.
Because they're supposed to.
It was weird, man.
Cool, man. Well, good job. He's coming down. Are you? Do you have a house in the gallery?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it.
Well,
this
once
time
again,
around.
Jesse, thanks for coming.
I have clients that just want to move in, man. So I got to turn them in. So
yeah, I remember you telling me, you're like, I think I'm going to see if I.
This was kind of last minute for everybody. Surprisingly, we've got 18.
No,
correct?
sir. We got 15. Looks like we're gonna have one more come in,
16.
but the builder's not in town. But he said he'll let me know.
And then you didn't want me to put a little spec up, so out there in Alton. So
I mean, put it up.
No. I need to get traffic out there first.
No, but there's gonna be some good traffic. We have a builder that's donating 2 Cowboy tickets, 2 Dallas Cowboy tickets to Dallas versus the Eagles in Thanksgiving. If I'm not mistaken, that's the game. We got Reese Morrison, which donated
It's the Thanksgiving game.
It's the Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's nice, bro. That's a big one. Hopefully they win. We got Reese Morrison. We ain't
gonna talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, let's leave that off.
Let's leave that off this chat.
Leave the star off the podcast.
They're just so bipolar, bro. Like, it's just, it's terrible.
It really is.
How can you be amazing one week and like shit?
No.
Next,
they got outclassed. The 49ers outclassed,
outplayed,
outcoached, everything.
All the interceptions.
Interceptions don't help,
dude.
But we couldn't block anybody either.
Dude, I've said this for a while, and I'm gonna say it again. The problem is Dak Prescott, and it is what it is. I know that I'm one of my best friends. He's a diehard Dak fan. He will die for Dak, and I'm like, bro. Unfortunately, he's the problem. If the quarterback ain't good, your team is not going to be good. Just look at every team that has had a successful quarterback, and you can name them all. It comes from the quarterback. And my respect to Dak, even to make it to the NFL, that's something that not a lot of people will ever do in their life.
Yeah.
You know? So my respect, but he's just not the guy.
He just needs a Taylor Swift.
He does. Maybe he needs to start dating Taylor Swift.
Hey, well,
or like Ariana Grande or something. Like change it up.
You remember when Tony Romo started dating, what's her name?
Simpson?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yep.
Tony was a dog, bro.
Tony was a badass quarterback.
He really was.
I was a what's it called? What term did they give it? Romosexual.
What?
I remember that.
Wait,
Romosexual.
you're like
I
a
was
fan?
I was, bro.
I'm still a fan.
Yeah,
Shit,
big fan.
I get excited when he's commentating.
I do too. He knows a lot of shit.
Yeah,
he
man.
really
He
knows.
always
his
calls
stuff.
all the plays beforehand.
Yeah,
though.
it's like, damn,
He
if
can
you were
read the
that
line.
good, what
Yeah.
the hell? Why didn't we get to the Super Bowl?
Just imagine, he's able to do all that while he's commentating. He was doing that on the field. Just imagine what the defensive guys are doing.
Yeah.
You know, they're also reading everything, what they're doing, what they're
That's
saying.
true.
There's so much that goes in. Like, only a person that played football will understand the difficulty of playing football. And it only gets even harder. Like, even harder. Like, it's insane. If college ball was insane, I can just imagine the NFL, bro.
Yeah.
And I played in an NAIA division, which is nothing compared
Sorry, I
to
don't
an
know what
NCAA.
division that is.
It's a
Flag football?
it's a flag
that's
football
cute.
against middle school
That's
teams.
cute. That's cute.
Anyway,
man.
Tony Romo, if you're listening, man,
Shout out, Tony.
We'd love to have you on the podcast. This is an official invite to get you on board. We'll get you on with
Gotta have viewers first, bro.
with you and Dak. This talk shop.
We're gonna
I have a feeling, bro, that if I send you out to do it, you'll fucking get it done.
my brother the other day.
I'm back.
Just take the whiskey out
They're
there.
in the car.
Somehow I convinced them. I don't fucking know. Oh my god, dude!
That's hilarious.
I still can't believe that shit. But we want to invite everybody. I got a hold of Tim Smith the other day, and we were talking on the phone because we wanted Tim Smith to be one of the judges. Unfortunately, he can't be a judge for that weekend. He's already had some prior commitment for some shrimp stuff that he's doing in the island.
He's got weather issues.
He's got stuff he's doing.
He's
but,
not make it due to weather.
my boy Tim's gonna help us get on Channel 5, bro. So
Yeah, nice.
He's gonna help us get a little 5-minute segment so that we can go on there and talk about what it is that we're doing, and you know, to everybody that's gonna be participating, from mortgage companies, realtors, builders, you know, spread the word, man. I mean, at the end of the day, this gallery is only going to be as successful as people push it, and you guys are the forefront of it. Don't have any doubt about it, and just spread the word of what you all are doing. The best form of communication right now is obviously your social medias. And word of mouth, man. Spread the word. Let them know that this is a 2-weekend thing. Let them know we're giving away a fridge. Let them know we're giving away Dallas Cowboy tickets. Let them know that we're giving away a TV. You know, we got so many things that we're doing, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal because it's never in the history of the Valley has there been a national representative come down. It's never happened.
Well, you made it happen. So
Yep.
thank
Somehow.
Congratulations.
you. That whiskey must have been real good being
Yeah.
pinned down.
Yeah.
I was pinned.
Whoa. What? Jesse, you've done Parade of Homes.
I
right?
have.
Yeah.
I have.
What advice can you give to some of these builders that are coming on board with the gallery?
I mean, pretty much what I've seen so far, a lot of these builders, I mean, they do pretty good work. They keep it real. They won't, you know, as long as they don't have a bad name, don't piss off a lot of clientele and stuff like that. And they do quality work. I mean, there shouldn't be any issues.
Yeah.
As long as you take pride in the work, you know, make sure things are level, plugs are level, trims are level, doors are not closing open properly and they're not hitting. 'Cause I've seen a lot of that stuff when I walked to other houses. You know, just take pride in what you do.
Proud.
Build. Like when I tell people or people that ask me for advice, how do you build your homes? I said, well, I pretend that home is going to be for me, and if I know if it's going to be there, I'm going to be there long term. I want to make sure it's going to be the best product for myself, just the way you would build your home the best way you could for yourself. So every home we build, it's like if it was my personal home, and that's how we've succeeded this whole time.
That's awesome.
Right.
During the parade, they do a good job of bringing clientele. Baco's instrumental in that. How many families you think they'll, somebody that's going to participate? How many families are going to see a day?
I mean,
and what do you do to prepare?
Well, of course, the last one we did was probably pre-COVID, I think it was, and we did win on our category. But
if I do say so myself,
I'm just
gonna throw this out there.
And believe it or not,
I'm number one.
They kept inviting for me to do it. I finally caved in and I did it, and we ended up winning, which I knew I was.
didn't want to embarrass people.
I knew I was going to win, so I was like, well, I give people a chance. You know what I mean?
Once again, just giving people a shot.
Just giving people a shot,
A veces creo que te la crees.
No, he does believe
I'm messing around. Hey, but you got to take pride in your product. I mean, if you don't take pride in the product, what are you building for? You know what I mean?
No, you have to.
There's a lot of people that are just doing it to do it.
It's just like you want to drive a Chevy Cruze, you want that Lamborghini that's outside. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Where is it? Did you bring it?
I didn't bring it today because I want to show up your car.
Oh, no, I didn't bring it.
Okay, thank God. We wouldn't want you to be embarrassed.
But he brought the Raptor.
Yeah, I did bring the Raptor. But no, what I'm saying is that as long as they do what they're supposed to and treat everybody and build the way they would want their house to be built, they shouldn't have an issue.
Yeah.
It's the problem comes in is when they're rushing just to sell, and long term they're slowly burning their name.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm looking for longevity and staying in business for a long time, so I don't have to recreate the goodwill of the name. Because every time people don't realize that the goodwill of the name is also very important. It's just like when people say, "I want a Coke," they're really referring to Coca-Cola. They're not.
Referring to Pepsi.
They're not referring to Pepsi, but if you go to a Pepsi place, it's Pepsi. But everyone says Coke because they were first in the name. When people think soda pop, they're thinking Coke. And that's not even the Coke. You know what I mean? That's not the name. So as long as they build their name to that where you're already, people are already spitting out your name when it comes to construction, stuff like that, or homes, then they know you're already in their mind first. Now, if they can afford you, it's another thing.
Yeah.
There's differences.
Absolutely. Yeah. The day of the event, I know we're going to have a lot of people coming through your doors. What do you do? What do you do to prepare for somebody walking in?
Make sure you're greeting.
Make sure you're greeting.
Sign them in. You want that information. You want to be able to call
Why
them.
is it important to get their information?
Because you want to follow up and make sure. Now, what people don't realize, I called so-and-so and, they just told me they're not interested right now. Well, why don't you call Versus and find out what you did wrong or what was perceived wrong in your home and find out, even if they're not going to buy from you or going to build with you, I always follow up and okay, man, well, what didn't you like in our product?
Yeah.
What could we have done? What could we have done better to make you more enticed in wanting to speak with us? Yeah. See, people look at it the negative perspective of it, and I'm always turning that negative to positive. That's how you gain. And now, some people may not have. There's many people I haven't built for yet. I'm still friends with them, and yet they come, this other builder did this, and I said, well, did you explain? Did you give them the opportunity to fix those items? No, they didn't want to hear from me. They didn't want. Okay, well then. That was.
Then you should have gone with me.
Yeah, basically, unfortunately, unfortunately, you didn't want, quality. So
but I mean, you get to a point where you said, you get to a point, and I mean, I'm not at that point, but I know my old man is. He's gotten to a point where he has a contract where he'll make his client sign a contract to where they're not going to call him on the weekend, and he's not.
We have that a lot.
He's like, bro, because my dad. He's gone through a lot, and he's just like, bro, I'm tired.
Yeah,
and he's
everybody needs to rest.
Sí, imagínate, dude.
And that comes in play a lot with the larger homes. Like even we're doing a large $1 million home for another client, and that comes into you have to set the standard at the beginning. After 6 o'clock, we don't. If I'm available and it's an emergency and I think I can respond, I will. If not, I'll respond the next day. Yeah. And I've let them know that up front because as we bring them in, as they're interviewing us as a builder, or they're talking to other builders and stuff. I'm also I let them know I'm also interviewing you as a client because I need to make sure we're compatible.
Same here, bro.
Because if we're not compatible, I have turned down so many jobs, and they say, "Oh, I'm going to go with so and so." Go ahead. Yeah. They're good people. I know who they are. Go with them.
Good luck.
I know we're not going to be a fit, and I don't. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I don't need to take your job.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm no hard feelings.
Yeah.
But I know we're not going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
And I immediately cut it out. Now, after so many years, I've learned. Because before, as you're starting, you want to get everybody you can, and you just start burning yourself like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we have a similar mentality there at our company. just like you're interviewing us, we're interviewing you too. It's a very intimate process to build a house for somebody.
You create a relationship,
yes,
bro.
and it's a long relationship. So
and not everybody
it's like
gets along.
Exactly, and it's going to be a boyfriend girlfriend type thing. I mean,
you're dating.
You're dating basically the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, not getting pinned down, but I mean, I'm not going to let that one go. But I mean, hey, you did what you did. You needed to do
what I had to do.
Yeah, you did what you had to do to bring him down for the team, bro. So
I did it for the team.
I give you credit for that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, and that's
And
where
we don't have workers' comp, bro. So sorry, we can't help you.
And so what people don't realize at the time is that eventually you have to select your clientele as well. And we do have a threshold if they're above, and it sounds ugly, but our level is different when it comes to what credit score they need to be at, what income level they need to be at, and if it's going to qualify. Because
First of all,
because a lot of times appraisals may not hit on the higher end of the homes, and that's what people don't realize. So what happens is at the very end, you're going to either they better have that money to come out of pocket, or you better know get the appraisal to make sure magic happens.
Yeah,
you know?
no, and you have to, bro, because the people, look, man, we deal with somebody that we did something for, and even then we did a good deed, we still have to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things was just like, it's the same with construction, man. It's the same with construction, and clients are not easy to deal with.
No, they're not. And that's sometimes why we like to go more spec route. But at the same time, we don't want to be holding all that inventory.
That's a risk.
Because
that's a risk
big
also.
risk.
You never know.
You
what's
better
gonna
have
happen.
that money to
It's
be
a
able
gamble.
to back it up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a gamble, bro.
Yeah.
So a lot of our clientele is custom based, which we've built it like that, and we're fine. And I know a lot of people say it's slowing down, and it has been slowing down with the interest rates. But you know what? I take that as a break.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I was burnt out Monday through Saturday, half day Sundays.
We were burning the candle at both ends there for 2-3 years.
Man,
yeah. It feels like 2020 was just last week.
That's wild.
Yeah, it went. These last 3 years went by like that. So I agree with you, man, 100%.
I'm just glad no more price gouging is happening anymore with these subs too.
Yeah,
they were raising price. You want me to go to your house first? We're going to charge you this.
Tanto.
Yeah, and so what was happening is the larger homes were getting hit harder.
Yeah,
because they knew there was more money.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I was there fighting day and night where I started getting my own people to do it.
No, and it's gotten to a point, dude, that some subs could be like, "Hey, pues I don't need you, you need me." What?
Oh yeah, I don't let them get. I don't let them get that area.
You got the wrong thing, brother.
Yeah, it's the other way around because we have the contracts.
Yep.
So they cannot get that kind of power either.
Well,
unfortunately.
I will say though, we do have to appreciate our subs.
Definitely,
they do the hard work. The
good ones do.
The good ones do. You know, we've talked about this before, man. But being a concrete guy, for example. 110-degree weather.
Oh man, it's hot.
Digging ditches.
This summer was horrible.
Damn, bro.
This summer was horrible.
You don't have a trencher?
The roofer.
Let's get it.
I mean, they still got to get in there and get the dirt out.
You're still doing manual labor, manual labor.
Imagine having to hammer a nail. You know what I mean? Like, one of these days, I'm gonna buy my guys nail guns.
I hope so.
One of these days. Anyway.
But the roofers, it's hot out there.
It's tough.
And you know, a lot of the younger guys don't want to be doing that anymore.
Yep.
So you notice the sub for those kind of jobs are a lot older gentlemen at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm always worried that what's going to happen if the new crowd don't come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just
so we're
generations.
working, right? And so as an organization, we're working with STC to build those the training, right, for trades.
Yes.
They actually had a meeting today. I didn't get a chance to go. Efren will update me, but those are the types of things that the organization needs to work on because yes, that's going to be an issue, bro.
It's going to be an issue.
It's changing.
Yeah, it's changing.
The upbringing is changing. Like, I mean, you can see it in the generations that are coming. Yep. You know, there used to be a time where, you know, it was good to work, and it was something that was looked up on, you know, like, hey man, you got to go help dad because you got to put food on the table, you got to work, you got to do this. But I think that the times are changing, and you can see it with the kids that are coming up, man. And that's one of the things that the NAHB was showing was that every year the number of builders that are I mean, the valley's a little different because we have from one day to the next we had people waking up becoming builders.
Everybody's a builder.
Yeah. We got 5,000 builders in the valley.
COVID hit and everybody was building.
Everybody was a builder. But I mean, that's just it shows you the market of the valley, right? But we're like, como dices tú, we're the young framers.
Yeah.
We're the young guys that are gonna be the framers when I get to be 50 or 60. Where are those guys?
Yeah.
Because I see the framers that are like the guys that are framing our stuff right now. I'm like, well, everybody's around my age, dude.
Yeah.
Where are the younger guys at?
Yep.
And that's the problem.
We got to develop that.
And
we
the
gotta
thing is,
help.
the skill set has come from generation. So the older guys teach the younger guys, and it continues down.
Mm-hmm.
But once there's a gap, I don't care how much college training they may have. There's things on the field that
There's a
don't.
gap.
There's a gap, and there's things that
You're only gonna learn on the field.
exactly, and that's the biggest thing. So I look at that as well when it comes to that.
Speaking of that, man, in our industry, right, we've got robots now that are building houses.
Tell them what Manny told us, bro.
Well, the concrete.
Yeah.
You saw talking about the concrete ones.
Yeah, Manny called me and
Shout out Manny.
yeah, Manny's been instrumental, dude. In
Manny's
this
a good
organization.
guy, man.
Good dude, and got promoted.
McCoy's.
Right? Yeah. He called me and he was like, dude, you're not gonna believe it, man. We're here. He was at corporate or somewhere.
We were at Papa Do's, right? We were
Yeah.
chilling, just you and I. Yeah.
And dude, you're not gonna believe it, man. I'm here, dude. They got this fucking robot that's building these houses, and that's
3D printing.
That's scary.
Because he was saying that it's not far from home.
It's not. I've seen the videos of it. I still think it's a ways to go. I think we'll be retired by the time we start seeing that. But I mean,
At a full scale.
at a full scale. But
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't have the younger generation coming in, that's what it's going to end up being. Because
course.
who else is going to continue building?
Yeah. He did mention that that those machines can only do so much, right?
Right.
I've even seen some equipment that out of China and all that. Because I have a lot of contacts in that side for distribution and stuff like that. But they have robot machines that will come in. You set the laser, and it'll go up and down. It'll throw texture on your walls.
Mm-hmm.
It'll print out whatever you want on the walls.
I've seen that
You've seen
machine,
that.
bro. That's crazy. A tip and float machine.
Yes, and you see them using it.
Yeah.
Side by side with someone that's in there already.
Yeah.
I mean, how well does it work? I don't know. They've offered it to me. I mean, I don't want to get to that point. We have good guys here. I don't want to take work away from anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it has to be more commercial type setting. Everything's straight walls, not here like that. We have all.
But it's because
type
things are moving so fast. I mean, AI is moving even faster. There's a company in Sweden that is set to produce 10,000 robots in the next year. And they're all going to be running off AI technology. And they actually just had a conference in London to show the prototype. And that, I mean, this robot was able to answer questions. It looks real. It looks like a human. And it's answering questions, mathematics, saying that it wants to work with the human race and stuff like that. So that's where we're going. I mean, it's funny because, dude, think about that.
Skylink here.
We need to bring him
Terminator.
down and pin that.
Pin them down.
Pin
the
them
robot.
down.
That's wild, right?
It's a little scary, man, because I mean, this is my industry, dude. I've been in this for a long time. My dad was a builder. I want to make sure that my kids have the opportunity that if they do want to take over the business, they can. But if we got robots that are going to take over, like that's a little scary.
Well, I'll tell
Did
you
you
this
see-
much: service-based stuff will never, maintenance will never be taken over by robots because you have to get to job sites. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Get to a job site, unload the robot, and you could have done it yourself. You know what I mean? So you got to be realistic on certain things. Oh, I didn't charge the battery.
I forgot to plug him in.
I told my wife to
Plug it in.
Plug it in.
So there's certain things that can happen and can't happen. You know what I mean? But I mean, eventually, it's getting that way.
It's crazy. They had a I don't know which football game it was. I don't know which one it was, but they had a
Oh yeah, where they had those humans as robots there.
they had all those robots.
Were they real robots? I thought they were humans that dressed up as
No,
robots.
they were robots.
They were really robots.
No, they were real robots that run off AI. It was a test.
Where's this at?
They were walking around look like humans.
They look like human, bro.
Where was this at?
It was one of the football games.
Yeah,
I want to
one
say it
of
was
the-
like the LA Chargers versus.
I saw
And they had robots all around the football field.
Yep.
And dressed like security or some shit like that.
Dang.
Scary.
That is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Even more reason, man, to have influence in Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah.
And so that's why it's super important for us to get NAHB
I mean,
Get rid
and
of all that
that's why
cancel
numbers.
culture stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of all that cancel culture.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Do you know what I saw? I saw some people were putting themselves in plastic bags
For what?
and
COVID again?
to protest. To protest.
What are they protesting?
I don't know, something to have to do with vegan, like eat something about food that we're consuming. And these people, so you know how like you could put stuff in a fucking Ziploc bag and then take out all the air? They basically did that, and these people are being hung, bro, in between plastic, and then they're connecting like a tube, and it's only supplying a little bit of air, and they don't plan on coming out of that until whatever the hell they want changed with the food industry or something. And I was just looking at that, and I was like, how do you have time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can barely do with what the time that we have. You know what I mean? If I can get another 30 minutes of sleep in the morning, I try and get it. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, like, how do you have time to go protest over some dumb stuff? Like, you know how crazy you look?
Yep.
You know, like, I don't know, bro. I'm just venting, but
You know, I'm all for people trying to make change, but it does get a little silly sometimes.
Yeah, change for the better.
Yeah, change for the better.
change for the better.
All right, what else we got coming up?
We got the so we got the gallery. We got
Just to be clear,
we got
it
the
is
gallery.
the last weekend in October,
Yes, sir.
26th and
it's
27th.
It's
doing a
27,
Christmas
28, right?
We're doing a
Ulises,
Christmas
can you
party?
double check
We are
the
going to do
the calendar?
a awards party after.
Yes, we
So
are.
do you have to be, as long as you're part of it, you can attend, or do you have to have your home in there?
So everybody that's
I don't
gonna,
know. Good question. What
Every-
do we decide on that as a board?
what I understood was that
Just trying to be more involved. Like you want
yeah,
to.
no, everybody that's competing in the gallery is already gonna get in. They automatically get 2 chairs.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, sir. And then after that, we're just gonna be selling 2 chairs to people that want to go. It's gonna be a full dinner. The last weekend of October is the 28th and
It
20th.
is the 28th and the 29th,
28th and 29th.
and November is 4th and 5th.
Thank you, Ulises. That's Ulises, the
10 a.m.
mastermind.
to 5 p.m.
Let's do it. After the gallery, so we got the 4th, we have we got the party at Mr. Alonso's Cantu's Ranch. The RSVPs are like at 170 something people, which I hope everybody understands. We can only hold 200 people, guys, so it's a lot of people.
Bring everybody on your team, please.
We're trying to make a statement.
And when you see Mr. Harris, please introduce yourself to him.
I want him to feel
say
tired.
Hello. Say hello to him and let him know we want to be nationally recognized. If he hears that 1,000 times that night, I would be happy.
Yep. After that, we're going to have the award ceremony. The award ceremony is going to be held at Montebello. Montebello is actually a house that they restored. I sent pictures to Ronnie.
Super nice house.
It's dope. It's nice. We're going to have a formal dinner, and then at the back of Montebello, all the doors open up. So they have an outdoor patio with a big old pergola, hanging lights.
Nice.
It looks super nice. And right now we're working with Concrete 57 to have a live band. We have some, we're going to get some, I want people to have a good time. It's going to be fun. I want people to, I think that our
Did
work.
he agree? 57 Concrete?
He had agreed, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're good?
We're good to
Ooh,
go.
awesome.
So
Thank you, man.
it's one of those
So
things
you'll
where
be posting the dates.
I'm gonna get everything for everybody.
and put it all together.
Yes, sir, and send it out on the group chat.
Speaking of, we're going to have a calendar for 2024.
Yes,
In the gallery
booklet.
magazine.
So the booklet's gonna have. So next year we want to get more involved with people having. We understand that the industry is stressful and everybody's running around doing the best that they can. And why not have fun by having competition amongst builders and stuff? So we're going to be having a bowling tournament. We're going to be having a fishing tournament, and we're still going to do the golf tournament.
Yeah.
So we'll have 3 different tournaments of competition throughout the year, plus the workshops that we're going to do. In January, we have Lone Star National Bank with Sebi. Shout out Sebi. That's going to be hosting the market analysis. I kind of want to do a combination of showing us how the market is moving and then having the developers there at the same time. So therefore, developers can show what products they have available on the market and builders can kind of get an idea of how they want to move for the year. With that being said, just so every builder understands this, next year the gallery will be on the same dates. So therefore, it's not a surprise. And y'all have a whole year to plan ahead and get your entries ready. After that, we want to do a workshop with Central Materials.
That'll be the first one.
Yes, that will be like the first workshop that they're gonna be doing something at their place for the builders, which Central.
People, Alejandro.
Hey, I was about to say Central Materials. If anyone, look, if you don't know, I hope you know they are moving.
Yeah. And you know.
They are moving. Central Materials is killing.
Great.
Oh, yeah. I remember when they started off real small.
Yeah,
we were
dude.
there, and then they just expanded. Good people.
And you know what? It's funny because we were like, so who does your marketing and stuff? You know what they said? We're like, we don't have any marketing.
It's just
they've done that just by being
word of mouth.
Just by being good at what they do, being good people, treating people
And
fairly.
honestly, one of the best services I've ever had. One of my top vendors is Central Materials.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
Great guys.
Yeah,
Man.
great
They're
people,
amazing,
man.
bro. They're amazing, and so they're coming on. We definitely want to do another contracts workshop. We want to do something to where it's like I want to see if I can get some influencer to come down and maybe help people have a better understanding how to make proper videos of their product, how to structure them, send them out on the internet and stuff like that. But the three biggest things will be those competitions. We saw a great turnout this past golf tournament. And honestly, I just want to say thank you to everybody that took part on sponsoring a hole and everybody that went out there.
So let's speak about that because the bowling tournament is going to be headed by...
So the bowling tournament is Ulises. Ulises is in charge of the bowling tournament, and he's going to be taking care of having that at main event.
Because we don't give him enough to do.
Ulises is not busy, just so anyone knows.
By the way, Ulysses does all the work around here.
Honestly, Ulises is one of the busiest 21-year-olds that I know, and if anyone understands this, he's going to be a monster in the industry.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's getting a worth of knowledge.
We need younger generation
Absolutely.
to come in like
Yep.
that. You know what I mean?
So he'll be yes, absolutely, I agree. So he'll be heading the bowling tournament.
Yes,
Who's
sir.
heading the fishing tournament?
The fishing tournament is Ben, Mr. James.
Woo!
Yeah.
The man with two first names.
The Ben with two first
love it.
names. He's gonna probably call me motherfucker. Yeah, but that's who's gonna be doing the fishing.
So is there a cost to get into the fishing tournament?
Ben's gonna be the one orchestrating that.
Okay.
What the cost is gonna be per tournament.
There will be a cost.
Yeah, so there's going to be a cost for the bowling, but we are giving awards. We got vendors that are be giving stuff. That's one thing that we're very, very appreciative. Our vendors have helped us out a lot. And, we couldn't have done it with the Matts, the McCoys, the Reese, the Sarskis.
Yep.
We couldn't have done it with the Valley Lands, with the Lone Star National Banks. All these
It
people.
takes everybody, man.
Bank of South Texas, everybody's so instrumental and thank you all for believing in us. And we're just trying to do something where people can have some fun and enjoy themselves. We're beyond appreciative of all the relationships and all the help that everybody has given us.
Who's going to be heading the fishing tournament?
So the fishing tournament is Ben James. And then the golf tournament at the moment I'm the one heading the golf tournament, but I am trying to get Miss Melissa. I haven't had time to go see Miss Melissa, Miss McCulloch, but Miss McCulloch had told me I didn't know this, but Miss McCulloch has a huge tournament I want to see in Dallas.
Yeah,
and it's so big that she uses 2 golf courses.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing. My respects to Miss Melissa. I remember when we had the tournament here. She came up to me and she was like, I didn't think you were going to pull it off, but you pulled it off. And she was like, I'm super proud of, because dude, at one point you can see everything moving like really nice and all the carros, like all the golf carts and everything. And it was really cool, man. We were able to put that tournament together in 3 weeks and, everybody was super cool about it. And this coming year, we're going to do it bigger. We want to do awards for how good you dress your hole.
Yeah.
Like who does the best dressing of the hole? Because Ronnie went all out, dude. Ronnie went all out. You were pointing up to hole 5 and there's Palo Santo and a whole.
It's all about the experience,
dude. It was
It's all
nice,
about the
bro.
experience.
Pinned over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we got some new things coming.
I think it's important to recognize the people that are heading these things, man, because it does take a lot of work.
It does take a lot of work,
and we need the help, right? Mario can't do it all. Ulysses can't do it all, and so it really takes everybody to kind
When are you
of.
stepping in?
Bro, bro.
Ronnie's like, dude, I'm losing my mind.
Are you kidding me? When are elections, bro? I'm ready to get out.
You know, it's not easy, man. But you know what?
That's another thing. When do elections come up for board?
Yeah, good question. So we've got elections coming up this January.
Yes.
Will be the first round of elections.
Yes.
And it'll fill three board seats, non-executive board suites, board.
So
seats,
we have
in the
Mr.
end.
Roel Moreno that will be vacating his seat, and so that seat is definitely going to be open. We have
Because he's running for commissioner, and so he's got other things that he's going to concentrate on.
yes, he's doing big things. We have the seat where Mr. V is sitting, which he's that particular seat has been replaced multiple times throughout the year.
Yep.
And he was kind enough to, we reached out and he was like, hey, if, I can help you all. Mr. V, if you're listening, thank you. I mean, he's been instrumental. And,
Yep.
we need people like that are opinionative and can speak and get their voice heard. And then we also have Mr. Servando's seat that is going to be open. Cersa.
Cersa. Yeah.
Cersa's
All
seat.
the three non-executive board
Yes.
seats will be up for grabs.
Yes.
And then the following year, all the executive
And
board
can a
seats.
non-executive seat be?
So the way that works is once we elect those four executive seats, we're not electing them as executive seats. We're electing them to the board, and the way our bylaws work, the board elects the executives. So the whoever decides to run this January and wins will be available, or will have the opportunity to run for an executive suite the following year.
Yes.
Amongst the board.
Amongst the board.
The board votes the executives.
So you got to start from the bottom and work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done it many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So highly encourage, Jesse, if you want to do it, man, I highly
I was
encourage you
thinking
to do
about it, but because I like
Get
what I've seen
involved,
with the
bro.
organization that y'all have. That's why I joined. I saw it grow. I was watching from the sidelines, making sure.
For way too long.
Yeah, but hey, I was always there with y'all either way.
I know.
So I do like what I see. So.
Yeah. It really takes everybody to kind of pitch in, man. And so if I can get people excited in the organization to run, this has been our baby, and we started this thing from scratch. And one of the most important things to me is to make sure that it's going to continue in the right direction. And so it's going to take excitement and enthusiasm from our members. Being that being said, only a builder can be on the board.
Only.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, we made that very clear from the very beginning in the bylaws. We want our builder organization to be ran by builders.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's good information.
Yeah,
Let
bro.
everybody know.
yeah.
And we've got a couple people that are interested. There's you have to be a builder that's been around for a 5-year minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Your company's got to be around for a 5-year minimum. There's got to be definitely the experience, but we've gotten a couple of what I like to call the older guys that they want in, man, because they see what's going on, and I mean, you go to one of our lunches, we've been a little quiet these past 2 months, but our focus has been the gallery.
Of course.
We had to really hunker down, and people have asked me, hey, you're not having a meeting this month, like what's going on? I'm like, bro, like I'm giving the builders the opportunity to focus on what they're doing. There's no need to distract anyone over that. But we do have some people, and we actually had a board meeting where we're going to have Mr. Servando and Cesar. They're going to be campaigning where, if let's say you decide that you want to be on the board, we want, Lisa's will go out there, make a video so that you can be like, hey guys, I'm here. My name is Jesse. I'm Liongate. I want to be on the board, stuff like that. Because we definitely want people to see that you are trying.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and it's really important for y'all to see that you can make an impact, right?
Yes.
It's bro. This is a nonprofit organization. We started it the right way. We had an attorney draft all the bylaws. It is y'all's organization.
Yeah.
It can be ran whichever way y'all want to run it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was actually with Isaac last night having a drink, and
GPI.
he
I didn't get a call.
He called
I must
me.
have not had service.
He called me.
Yeah, you know, I don't. My service is kind of shitty in my house. I'm gonna give you that.
He called me, but I was telling him, I was like, hey, it's crazy. Never in a million years that I think I'd be sitting here, and I'm just trying to do the best for everybody. I always told Ronnie, if anyone says anything, I just want people to say that motherfucker works.
No, and I remember when you were when they first called you in, and I knew you were the right person for that. So you've done an amazing job, man. I want to give you that because I've been watching since the beginning. Not that you haven't, Ronnie, but
I was never the executive director.
So since the beginning, and then you came on board, and I've seen the way it's grown, the podcast. I've seen everything y'all have done. So that's when I decided to, you know what, I think it's time for me to
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, good job.
I tried for a while to get you on.
I remember.
I would call him like, let's fucking go. But, you know.
The way this thing works, man, is the board makes a decision on the direction that they want to lead the organization, and the executive executes. That's what they do. And I got to be honest with you, man. Mario doesn't take this thing, the bull by the horns. We wouldn't be here.
No, and I agree. And I always told you that. You did an amazing job, man.
Yeah,
so.
hell yeah.
I just want to leave something like, I'm going to be a dad, bro.
Yeah.
And at this point now in my life, I've been through a lot. I don't think people will ever really know what I've been through in my life. But I've come to really want to be a man of a good character, and I've been surrounded by some people that have taught me a lot recently. And I care for the Valley. I love the Valley. I've left the Valley, and I don't think people will appreciate what we have here until you're really gone and understand that the Valley's a special place. To me, the Valley is always going to be home, and I'm trying to do the best for everybody. I told Ronnie this the other day because Ronnie was like, hey, man, we have this guy coming down and everything. And I told Ronnie, I was like, Mr. Harris coming down is a benefit for everybody. Because, thank you. Don't pit me right now.
Group hug.
That's it.
Nah, man, it's all in good faith, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So elections, to answer your questions, that's the way it's going to work.
Better run, bro.
Yeah. Better run.
I probably will, depending.
You can't talk shit unless you decide to run.
I'm not talking shit.
I'm not saying I ain't saying you talk shit. But anyway, it's important.
It's just important with information. So
I would love to see where somebody would where other builders would like to head this organization. I'd truly love to
I'll
see
say this, though. Next year, the NAHB is having their end of the year meeting. The one that I ended up going to Palm Springs, they're having it in Austin. And I want everybody. I want to get a charter bus, and let's make it a thing to where we're all going out there and we're making a statement. Because if there was this was a national meeting, and if there was 100 people, se me hace mucho. Wow. And that is sad. Mm-hmm. That is sad, bro. I was one of the youngest ones in there, and they didn't know what the Valley was. They didn't know what we did. They didn't know anything about the Valley. So this next meeting is being held in Austin, and I want to get a charter bus, and everybody just jump on and let's go make a statement and let people know, look, we're here. Everybody that's a member of NHB, let's go. Wear your tag, because they give you your tag. Mine said Rich Heritage Mario Guerrero. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And it'll say Texas on it and all that good stuff. And you're going to meet some people. One of the things that I learned, I was like, damn, I'm a second-generation builder, right? You're a second-generation builder. Our parents are builders, whatever. People were like, man, I'm a fourth-generation builder.
Wow.
What? Yeah, we build about 200 to 300 homes a year.
Jeez.
Damn.
Well, I would say it was a third, maybe it could be fourth, because my grandpa's dad was a framer, and his dad also was a framer.
Yeah.
So in retrospect, that could be
fourth generation-ish.
I say three for sure, confirmed that I know.
Pin him.
We even have a house that my grandpa's dad built back in 1910.
We built Sam Houston.
Yeah.
That.
No, 1910, where a lot of builders now, they see the 2x4s, they see 2x6s, and it's the white pine. back then when we recently remodeled it, I mean, you're talking about the red wood. Windows have the weights on the ends to pick up the window. People don't realize how it was built back then.
Yeah.
But that wood, if you look at the rings of the wood, the wood on the edges, there's so many rings of how old that tree was back in the day. So that house is
Different wood.
1910, and it's still standing today with no matter what hurricanes, and we still have that in our house.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
So, I mean, back then he built that with his own hands.
Yeah, crazy. Back when they didn't have framing nailers.
Exactly. That's all by hand.
By hand.
Shingles by hand.
Yeah.
There's no screws. Everything was by hand and muscle.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
That is beautiful.
The other thing, so we were talking about the workshops,
Yes, sir.
right? And so we want to try to have at least one every 2 months. Is that
Yes,
what we
sir.
talked about? So that
Yeah.
we have, but we won't have one in the last couple months. So we'll have about 5 workshops.
Yes, sir.
For 2024.
Right.
And what we wanted to do, and we talked about this with Central, was certification.
Yes.
So if you go to all of them, you get a certification from STBA.
And a plaque.
Yeah,
Like
saying that you went to all the workshops, right? And you're a certified builder for that year.
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Yeah. We just want to
Want
make
me to
sure
sign off on them for the younger ones, or
all the fresh meat.
Well, you should train one. You should train
all
one.
right, I'll put you first on my list.
Okay. And I'll pin you.
I really liked it.
I think so.
Bro, I was freaking out. Bro. You don't understand.
I bet you were.
What I
bet
went
you
through,
were.
bro.
I want to go.
It's like I just want to go home. Oh man.
Always hurts the first time.
Bleep that out.
Yeah, I'll leave that out.
All right, so we talked about the events coming up next year.
Yes, sir.
We've talked about the gallery coming up. We've talked about the party that we got, the awards assembly.
Yes, sir.
What else we got, man? What else we got coming up?
What do you got going on, Jesse? How many projects you got going on right now, bro?
We got quite a few. We're doing, believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize we have our own equipment as well. We do demolition. We do utility work now. So we have a project we're doing on Bryan 405. We're doing our utility work right now, and we're going to do commercial buildings there that we also do. And behind it is going to be man cave storages for guys that have cars. They're going to be like a little
nice.
hangout area.
Cool.
That you can rent and stuff like that. So
Cool.
we do different things, but yeah.
Cool, bro. Cool. So, how many houses you got going on right now?
We probably, not too many, probably about 8. I mean, we've closed quite a few already, and I'm trying not to get any more for the end of the year. I want to be off a little bit.
Take a little time off.
Yeah, because we do have, like I said, we still have those ongoing projects. I do have land I'm going to develop as well, build, spec homes on. So that's in the pipeline. And then, of course, there are other businesses. We've really grown as well, so I got to put a lot of time into that too. So
That's awesome.
and of course our rentals we have at the island and stuff like that now. So
That's awesome.
You're busy.
too
You're
busy.
staying
Yeah,
busy.
I'm busy. So
We've been trying to get lunch for the past 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And it just I want to have a little bit of time off as
Once
as
again,
the holidays
GPI.
come in.
He invites me.
Yeah, answer your phone.
Oh, did you call?
You got to call
Oh,
Ronnie
I think-
twice.
I think I have you under spam risk.
You're afraid you might buy one of my homes?
Don't answer.
There is no other.
You're afraid you might buy one of my homes?
There is no other.
There's no other builder you'd buy from, but
You need to find some zen in your life.
Palo Santo for
There's
everybody,
no builder
baby.
I talk more shit with than this dude.
Dude. But that's real.
I love it.
It's a
That's
love
real.
relationship.
I don't think people understand that. Like, if you can't talk shit to people, I mean, they're not your boys. Keep moving.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Somebody sent me one of my chats with my friends. It was a TikTok on if you can't call your boy an asshole, man, you probably aren't friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
Definitely. Nah, well, I mean, man, I don't know what else we can bring up today other than just thank you for coming by, bro.
No, I really appreciate y'all inviting me. Sorry, guys, it took so long to get on board, but I was watching, like I said, from the sidelines. Didn't know what the organization was basically about too much. And besides me being as busy as I am with other businesses as well, I didn't know if I had the time, but now that I see it and I like where it's going, and two of my favorite people are right here.
Yeah.
That
Now he wants to be nice.
Screw off, bro.
Whatever.
Hey, regardless, I was there with you all, no matter where y'all were hanging out.
Eso sí.
What was the final, like, what was the deciding factor for you to come on board?
I mean, besides us nagging him.
Besides me calling him out on every podcast.
Yeah, especially when I was there in Austin, y'all called me out with Belinda on the phone. Well, I had no idea I was on the phone. I was there cussing.
Oh, by the way, you're live.
I was like, oh, shit. Heads up would have been nice. So, yeah, I mean, I was leaning towards, doing it either way. Of course, we never got around to it. And then as I started watching more and more, I felt more compelled with the people that I get along with, which is you all and some of the organization. I said, you know what, I think it's time. So, when we did eat at La Fogata, I did tell you I was going to,
yes,
and then
sir.
I ended up doing it.
Yeah. Awesome.
I think this podcast has opened up many doors, and I mean, dude, I eating at La Fogata that day,
I remember that,
and then being here now, I think that things are just falling into place.
That's when you were just also.
That's when I had just became the executive director, and I was calling all my boys that, hey, come on, and a lot of them were like, nah, give me some time. Let me see where you're going to take this and stuff, because people did have questions, and people did, something new is always scary.
And of course, a name that's already in the industry, we need to make sure who we're also supporting there. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure on that. So I'm not saying I'm the biggest, baddest builder there is. There's many good builders out there, stuff like that. But I also wanted to make sure who I back up, because of our other businesses and our other, family businesses we have. I need to make sure who we're tying ourselves to at the same time.
Dude, no, and I'm glad that you see it that way, because that's absolutely important, man. We want to make sure that we have the right people in the organization, and it's going to take all different minds, right? We all think a little bit different to have input to make sure that this thing is leading in the right direction for everybody involved.
Yes, sir.
So hell yeah, man.
I like what you just said there. I've had people that they're still on the sideline waiting to come in. There's some big names in the construction industry that are missing here, and they told me, like, I'm waiting a little longer. I just want to see where things are going to go or whatnot. And I respect that, because to them, one of the things that us as humans, that whether people want to believe it or not, we get judged by who we hang out with.
Correct.
You are definitely a representation of who your friends are, and anybody that tells you otherwise just doesn't want to admit that to the fact.
Yeah, I mean, and that's true what they say. I mean, you can, you are who you're. I guess they say you are who you hang out with.
You are
5 people, closest to you.
You will become who you hang out with. Yeah. And some people, there's some people that they don't hang out with anybody because they're shout out to my parents. You'll never see my dad and my mom hanging out with anybody. That's just who they are as people, and it's worked for them.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And that's okay. And then you have people like yourself, like you say, I got to see from the sideline real quick to see how everything's going to move, how the water's going to move.
But believe it or not, I don't hang out. I'm very select on who I hang out as well, because for that reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I do.
What is that thing they say? Guilty by association. Correct. Or guilty by association.
Yep.
And that's very true. Man.
Yeah.
So you got to be very careful. But we're going to do the raffle. We're going to do. How many people do we have commented today? You know what? If you're listening, I would like for people to comment that haven't commented. We have a very special raffle today. We got 10 tickets for a razor that 57 Concrete is giving away. 10 tickets, and the only way you get one ticket is if you buy 10 yards of concrete.
So it's like you spent $1,000.
If you spend,
so the value of these tickets are $1,000. No, how much? More than that.
$10,000.
10 yards. No, 10 yards.
What do you have to buy the concrete for?
10 yards at concrete
at 100 and something a yard is like $1,150. It's like $1,200 value is what it is.
All I see is a bunch of question marks above your head while you're calculating.
But no, that's about right.
Yeah,
$115 a yard times 10 yards is $1,150.
Imagine
a
ticket.
Yeah, and they got 10 tickets.
And we got 10 tickets.
Oh shit! So $1,150 times 10.
We're
talking about $11,500. That's the value of these tickets
for a razor.
It's what it would have cost.
A 4-door razor. Not a 2-door, 4-door.
And why do you say it like you're a
4
gangster,
fucking.
Fortunately, I already have one.
Like 4.
Thank you, sir.
Let me see what the razor looked like. Do we have a picture or no?
I don't have a picture, unfortunately, but I mean, for somebody to give you something that's worth, or whatever. How much is a razor worth?
Well, it depends which one it is, but
30 grand?
20 grand.
20 grand?
Yeah.
20,000. You can win this razor and go sell it if you wanted to.
True.
Which would be crazy.
It's hard to see. What up?
Is this the owner? Is he the owner? Are you the owner? No. Oh, okay.
Who's he?
I don't know.
I'm just here for the drinks.
Are people commenting? Hey, y'all got to comment, man. You're not going to be placing this raffle.
Does
You don't
anybody have
comment.
any questions?
Questions.
Can I comment right now? Man?
Yeah.
You can.
I do.
Shout out to myself.
I just want to say how beautiful I look.
That's a good looking, what is it called? Salt and pepper.
So I'm pepper right there, baby.
Who's that guy on the left? He's so cute.
Oh, it's me.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Tawerito.
Don't let the blonde hair and the blue eyes fool you, man.
Oh, no. I learned that a long time ago.
That's funny. What are we at? Where are we at, Uli? 19 comments. Nice. What do you think? We should do it now, or you want to give them another 2-3 minutes? Up to you guys.
Let's give him another 2-3 minutes.
It's
I'm going to
4:16.
try my drink.
It's 4:16. At 4:20, we'll announce the winners.
Give me about 1 minute. Give me a second.
Let's see, man.
You got kiddos?
I do.
How many kids you got?
4.
4 kids, you savage.
Any of them want to build?
No.
No.
I am pushing my son, though. He's 16 years right now, and he does want to be a doctor. We do have a lot of doctor clients, but in the summer he does work with me. He's been on the excavator. He's been on the skid steer. We've been breaking concrete out. Had to teach him
That's
rough.
awesome.
I remember the first day, Dad, don't worry about it. I said, son, you want to wear a long sleeve, wear your UV shirt, like fishing shirt, wear a cap. We're going to be outside in the sun all day. Dad, I got this. I'm young. Don't worry about it. All right.
I win.
Okay. Some people need to learn the hard way.
I don't know.
and
I
that's
don't.
okay. And that's
I
okay.
don't know
okay.
from experience, right?
Okay, obviously, I mean, I never wear shirts when I'm dark. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I guess
and me both, bro.
He used to look like me.
Yeah. I mean, I was with blue eyes, you know? So anyway, first day he goes out there and my wife was like, well, you're going to let him go like that? I'm like, he wants to be a man. Just do it.
Figure it out.
So he goes out there.
Makes his own decision.
He is güero. So comes out dark. She's like, man, it's really hot outside. Yeah, full of dirt. Yeah.
Told you.
Okay. And then what do you want me to do? All right, no. Well, we're going to continue working. I said, okay. Takes about a week to get used to it. Second day, long sleeve. Long sleeve. And I said, okay, make sure you wear the Fisher hat where the neck is covering because you're going to be outside. We're going to be on the excavator. We're going to be on the tractor. We're ripping out a driveway. I'm in a parking lot. We're going to redo the parking lot. And, no, I think with long sleeve I'm good. I don't want to get, what? Okay. I said, make sure you wear your gloves because we're going to be, you're going to be getting splinters on your hands, stuff like that. When we pick up rebar, we're going to be cutting with the machines. He said, no, I got this. Again, second time, I was like, all right, son, you got this. Whatever. Go out there. Third day, I swear to God, he looked like he was in COVID. He had hat, face mask, gloves, undershirt.
Hazmat suit.
No, hazmat suit, work boots, steel toe. Like the pants that had the pads in the front. He took the knee pads in case he had to get on his knees. I said, what are you doing? He's
You learn from experience.
I should have just learned the first day when he told me.
Yeah.
Thank you, son.
Yeah.
And then he said,
But he'll never forget it.
When you're
You
young,
won't.
you're dumb, bro.
But then he also said that, he goes, but I didn't believe you because you went out there, you didn't have any of that. And I said,
But I'm the boss.
thank you. I said, because I already did.
But I sit in my truck.
Yeah. I said, but I already did this at your age. I was telling you what it was. And he goes, well, so am I going to get paid what the guys get paid? And I said, that's another conversation. I said, okay. All right. You tell me at the end of the week what you think you're worth with my guys on the field. And he literally came back, and then they were telling him, here's the water. They would bring him the water, and I told the guys, no, it'd be rough with him. He needs to be out there. He needs to learn. They would feel bad because that's the boss's son. And they're like, no, we'll take care of him. He's sweating. He feels a little lightheaded. Hey, we're all there once. Sure enough, at the end of the week, like, Dad, I'm worth half of whatever you pay these guys.
Yeah.
He goes,
good lesson.
And he goes, and that's all I'm going to ask for. He goes, because there's no way I could do what they can. And he goes, but I would.
That's a good.
And he
That's
goes, and
dope,
he
bro.
said,
Good
and
thing.
he did say he
That's
ended up making
dope.
$3,000 to $4,000 that month. I mean, that summer, and with the commercial projects, and he did say, like, Dad, he goes, but I don't want you to get upset or anything. He goes, but I think I'd rather be a doctor.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want
Good
to be
for
doing
him.
it. And I said, okay, but at least you
Then
know
that's okay.
now.
Yeah, that's
at least
okay.
you know now. He goes,
Yeah.
but I would still want to do investments the way you have. And
Yeah.
I said, okay. But it took him that to learn, and thinking he knew more than someone that already had been in the field.
Yeah.
So now every time I tell him something, he's like, okay, Dad, what do I do here? Because I already know you know more than I do when it comes to this.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. And now he learned.
Yeah.
Experience.
That's awesome, bro.
So and he's my only boy. So yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
great story.
See,
Yeah.
so this is the type of things that I run into in this organization, right? I get to meet other builders, and then I get to hear stories about them being a dad
Yeah.
and being a good dad,
Yeah.
right? Teaching valuable lessons to their kids.
Yep.
And I got to say, man, we definitely got to put paint builders in a different light.
Yeah.
We're
all
there's
human.
a lot of good people.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of good people.
We're all human, man. But
Speaking on that, man, the good segue. So, like, I know we had talked before about my kids. Like, are they going to take over the business? And my son and my he's going to A&M and he's doing
Right.
computer engineering.
yeah.
Oh, it's a good field.
Yeah, and so I had gotten to the point where it's like, they're not going to take over. I'll probably end up moving to Central Texas or something because they're going to be in that area. Blah 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 blah. Well, I had a conversation with them this past weekend, and both of them are very interested in coming back to the Valley.
They see
Right.
how it is out there.
Yeah,
It's a different
my
world.
daughter is interested in taking over.
Oh,
right?
nice.
And so it's a different motivation for me, man, to know that, right? Yeah, you handle things a little differently, knowing that there's a possibility, there's a chance that you're gonna hand this over to
your seed.
to your kids,
To
man.
your kids, bro.
Makes you work a little. It makes you work a little differently.
It does, because my daughter also, she's 10, and she also at one point said that if her brother didn't want to continue the construction, she would go out there, because she was out there when she was 2 or 3 years old. I would take her sometimes to the field, and they would call her Little Patrona. So I ended up getting,
Nice.
we got her shirt that said Little Patrona.
Oh,
And
that's
they'd go
cute.
out there. So she always has this thing that she built some of the houses these people live in now, because she would remember up to 4 or 5 years old that she was out there in those
Yeah.
jobs. And she tells my son, you have never built a house like I did with Dad.
Yeah.
And now she's 10. But
Yeah.
she's the diva, but she
And
says
that's okay.
that. Yeah.
That's
And that's
cool.
fine.
That's cool, bro.
More reason, bro. And I'm glad you brought that up, because more reason for us to, as an organization, to encourage women
Yes.
to be in this industry.
And shout out Miss Lisa.
Man, she did great.
Awesome.
And we're super proud of her, dude. She's
She's a
she's
strong,
taking the bull by the
strong
horns
woman, bro.
and building. I don't know. I don't remember how many houses she's building, bro. But to build one, you know
Yeah,
what I
it's a
mean?
pain in the butt.
Pain in the butt. She's doing like several.
Yeah.
Um,
She's a
and
perfect
so-
example of a professional.
No comment on her husband, though, but I'm just kidding. We'll leave Robert out of this one.
He's cute.
He's cute. I actually grew up with Robert, so I remember when I
He's
made him
cool,
cry all
man.
the time. But yeah.
But we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we won't
but here's
talk
a
about
video.
Sure, Robert. That's another guy that's been very, very
Helpful.
helpful.
Yeah.
And thank you for your help, Robert. Shout out to Robert. He's been super helpful. And once again, man, shout out to Lisa, man, for being. I'm gonna be a girl dad, and the way she represents women and the way she carries herself, the way that the professionalism of the way she speaks and the way she moves her company and the way she moves around, like. For any woman that is looking to be in the industry, man, reach out to Lisa and try and get some advice, man. Because if someone's doing it right, it's her.
We need another woman builder on the podcast, man. Can you please reach out?
I would definitely look
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Cool. When we do vote a new board, Jesse, and you do get voted in, dude, please make that a priority, man. 'Cause
Oh, no,
you
for
got a
sure.
daughter that's interested
That's
in taking
interested
over.
as well.
I got a daughter that's interested in taking over.
And I got a baby girl coming.
And you got a baby girl coming.
All right, let's do the raffle.
Let's
Do it.
Where we at, Uli?
What do I do?
You're about to
get
get
the
pinned.
honors of spinning that.
All right, here we go. Boom.
Here we go. It's spinning. You could turn it to the
How come
camera
my
if you
name's not
want.
on there?
We need sound effects. When are we gonna get sound effects?
Uli, work on some sound effects.
Speaking of women,
Cynthia Lugo.
congratulations. You are the winner of 10
10 tickets.
raffle tickets to a Razor.
Nice.
Hopefully you
Super.
win it, Miss Lugo.
Yep. If you do win it,
Take us for a ride.
take us for a ride. GPI.
Yes, sir.
You got Cynthia Lugo there? Send her a message. Let her know that she won the raffle, please. You want to say anything before we close out?
No,
We'll
just,
let you close it out.
No, I let the professionals do that. Let me handle construction, okay?
Well, we're still waiting for hair and makeup.
And also, if you do get voted in, can you please do something about hair and makeup, man?
I don't know. I mean, you can't fix ugly, Ronnie. I'm sorry.
Hey, I walked into that one.
I mean, not even us at the funeral.
That's
can help
cute.
that.
You, sir, are an asshole, and my
Thank you.
friend.
And my friend.
Thank you.
We'll leave on that note.
Nah, man.
Thanks, bro.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for
having me.
believing in
Thank
what
you.
we're doing.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Still owe me lunch, but yeah.
Yeah, I still owe him lunch, but thank you for everybody for tuning in today. We really appreciate everybody. Just keep in touch. I'm going to be sending more information regarding the gallery, regarding
Send
the
those
parties.
dates as well.
I will be sending dates out. And any information y'all need, just feel free to give me a call. And I'm here to help everybody out. Ronnie's also very instrumental. I mean, if anybody doesn't know, he's the president. Definitely the one that is head steaming this and pushing this forward.
My beautiful widow.
Yeah. So we love you guys, man. Y'all have a good rest of the week. And anything y'all need, feel free to give us a call.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Thank
Thank
guys.
you.